Damn, dude!
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn, dude.
This is season 2, episode 103. That technically makes 203 episodes of the Damn Dude podcast in existence. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, California Cow. And this show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different perspectives and contexts that we have in life. Because I truly believe that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier and doper life is to navigate. Basically, it's kind of like the simplified version of saying wisdom. And it's like, I think to call yourself wise is unwise. So this is kind of like a way we can still encompass that without undoing the validity of the work that we've done as far as understandings and stuff like that go. Because that's why, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if we have different perspectives and contexts, you can just try it on. And whether you like it or not, you don't have to fucking keep it forever. You dig? So, man, oh man, oh man, I am feeling like shit. The last 2 days, I got pretty fucking sick. Like really sick to the point where I was just hosed. Like, do I sound loud as fuck? The headphones, I don't know why I sound really loud in the headphones today. Anyway, yeah, I got pretty sick and that was no fun. But I'm getting through it. I feel better today. And amongst just being inside for the past 2 days, like I would go for a walk and try and like sweat it out, and I'll just fucking take a long ass bath and different shit like that, right? But like within that, hello? Okay, dude, all my equipment is being weird as fuck today. Like when I'm recording and I'm talking, there's like as I'm recording it in Logic or whatever this program's called, you see like the voice volume like bars of like when you're recording, you know? And they're like showing up after I'm speaking. Well, normally it's like real time as I'm speaking. So there's like a delay on it. And then at the same time, my camera was like, it switched its focus into like manual focus and it did all this weird shit. And I tried to put it back on auto and it like completely reframed the size of the screen. So I'm like, I don't get it, dude. Shit's just being really fucking weird. Anyways, within being at home this whole time, like, for those of you guys that follow and know, you know why I'm living where I'm living in this 625-foot apartment, you know, the thing we call apartment. It's kind of more like a closet to a degree. And I will say, I'm completely grateful for this place because at one point this was a dream come true. You know, like living in my car, like bouncing around, staying at my dad's, like shit like that is not it. Now, nothing wrong with staying at my dad's. I enjoy staying there. But it's like when you're an adult and you go back home, like whether it's cool or not, it's just something like, oh man, like about it, you know? And it's funny because it's like to experience that and maintain a perspective and attitude of gratitude is a tricky task. So it's like, damn, how are you supposed to be grateful when you're in a position you don't want to be in? You know what I mean? And this is why it helps and it pays to contribute or to contribute to our own gratitude and level of understanding. Like if you're in a place you don't want to be and you have a nice pair of socks, dude, like that's priceless. That's something to be grateful for. Like if you can't appreciate that you have nice, warm, clean socks on, like you're majorly lacking perspective or context in life. And I don't say that to be offensive, but I more say that to like wake people up. Like, dude, you have no fucking idea how good you have it. And like, I think part of the reason why we don't understand how good we have it is because the majority of us live in a completely fake environment. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, for example, let's say in my house here, I'm like, everything about this environment is fake. The only thing real about it is like the plants and I guess me and the energy that exists. But like, this environment is so fake. So, and I really got this perspective from staying in a cabin the other week and looking up and seeing all the wood beams in the roof. I'm like, damn, it feels so good to like look at wood on the ceiling. It's like, it's naturist, it's just fucking awesome. There's just something so calming about it. And then I come home and I see the shitty popcorn on the ceiling and I'm like, man, this is so unnatural feeling. Like, it just feels like such an energy trap and it feels so dense. Now, it's like, for the most part, I mean, in the last couple of weeks, I have not given a fuck about keeping up with this place being organized and stuff. Like, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. And I'm realizing, like, dude, this is such a fake environment. The walls, the shapes, all these things are completely not of nature. So, like, when I'm out in the woods or I'm out at a cabin, I'm like, dude, like, seeing all the trees and the different shapes of the mountains and like the noises of nature, the sounds, the particular type of like silence that exists in the middle of nowhere, even though it's never actually silent, there's always some sort of bird or thing or breeze or water or something, but it's of nature. Those are the sounds we're supposed to hear. So like, why do you think, and I don't know if you guys have this experience, but I do, where like where you live or you're staying somewhere where it's like lots of busy cars outside. And when you get in, or if you like live next to a main road or you've stayed at a place that's next to a main road or freeway or something like that, and you hear the freeway noise, at a certain point, it kind of turns into like ambient music or like white noise or like, for me, what I've done is like, I actually would appreciate it because it reminded me of what the ocean sounded like. And, I used to live in IB, a block from the beach. And then I used to live in Hawaii, like up the road from the beach in multiple different ways or down right across from a river or whatever. So like, I would be hearing water flowing and crashing and stuff like that. So like, when I was in the jungle, I would hear the water just going through the trees and stuff, or going like, going through the river. Cause I had a waterfall, like kind of in my, I guess technically it'd kind of be front yard. Like my house was literally like, there's the whole jungle. And then there's like a row of houses that my house that like where I happen to just live. So like, and I swear I heard night marchers, dude. If you guys know what's up with that, like my house was kind of right off not kind of right off, but it was like not far off from the Poly Highway. And if you know the story about in Oahu, the night marchers and the Poly Highway and all that history, if you know nothing about that, go look it up. It's pretty fucking fascinating and it'll scare the shit out of you. But I swear I heard them, dude. Anyway, excuse me. Fuck, dude, my headphones are being obnoxious. So what I was saying was, hearing these sounds of nature is so relaxing and so reaffirming. And then I'm like, well, how did my brain interpret traffic as the ocean? And I'm like, damn, I think that's just my spirit longing and wanting to connect with nature, with the ocean. There was another time I had this little like condo. I guess it was a condo technically. I don't know if it was a condo or an apartment. If it was an apartment, it was a huge apartment. This was definitely more a condo, actually, I would say. But I had this waterfall outside my window, and that just did it for me, dude. Like, that's one thing I was like, all right, when I get a pad, if it happens to not be near water or somewhere naturist, I need to have some sort of like water feature to where you can hear that. Because there's something so calming and relaxing about, it feels like you fully get reset when you partake in nature at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. And that's why it's important to like get out and get grounded, get the fucking early morning sun and the sunset sun into your eyes and face and skin, and all of that is just so good for you. It feeds you and it resets your soul. It helps your circadian rhythm. That, if you don't know what that is, that's the thing that is basically determines your sleep cycle. And if you have trouble sleeping, if you consciously and purposely tap into your circadian rhythm and bring awareness to it and practice, I guess, to it, then you can literally make yourself sleep better just by participating in active awareness over your circadian rhythm. That's a whole nother thing. But anyways, like, there's just something so magical about being in nature. And this has been something that's been proven too. And I forget how to explain it or where to point you to for the source of this. But basically, that's why when you go to the beach or when you go wherever, or you watch a sunset or you watch a river or you watch a lake or you watch a nice view, it feels so good. Like, it's not necessarily the fact that you're sitting there looking at anything that makes you feel great. It's what you're sitting there looking at. Because I can sit in my apartment and stare at the wall and not feel great, but I can go on top of the fucking mountain and overlook the beach and all of a sudden I feel great. Like, what is that? Why is that a thing? And I don't know in any single person that this isn't real for. You know what I'm saying? So if this is the case, like, granted, this is anecdotal evidence, but at the same time, show me somebody who's not just being stubborn that can, like, tell or show me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I know we've all experienced this. Like, that's why being in jail is torturous. That's why being claustrophobic is horrible. It's because it's like you get robbed of your nature and your freedom, and there's something, I get biologically or chemistry, I don't know. Let me take that back. There's something that happens in our body to where when we physically observe shapes and patterns that aren't standard shapes and patterns, like squares and straight lines, when you actually see movement and flowing energy, it releases and moves and flows your energy also, because we are a part of nature. Our spirit, our soul, our everything, like the physical makeup of a human being is just different fucking minerals and cells and energies and all this shit. And that's what makes us. We are a part of nature the same way sand and fish and water and air and fucking fire and all these things are part of nature. It's just part of us. And when we don't honor the nature of ourselves and we don't go set ourselves free with nature, we don't fucking touch plants and like hug trees or fucking view the sun or like, oh, whatever the fuck, right? You don't have to go hug a tree to accomplish this. You can go walk barefoot in the grass, the dirt, the water, whatever. Like, these things reset and ground us. Excuse me. Ooh. So, as I lay here, well, not right now, but as I lay there, going back into my fucking tiny little apartment, which I'm grateful for, but I'm over. I'm like, dude, this is hell in a way. Now, let me explain. Like, yes, living in a first world country in an apartment with running water and amenities and this and that, not that bad. Trust me. I get it. It's not lost on me, right? I appreciate all of those. And at the same time, because I am a sovereign individual, I am my own free man, I say that that's not good enough. And how you become a fucking shitty man and somebody who's out of touch with their inner child is to become old and out of touch with myself and out of touch with nature. To become out of touch with myself is to be out of touch with nature. So if just by that logic alone, like, I can go back to nature to get in touch with myself. You see what I'm saying? So you look at people who were crabby and stuffy and all of this and like have bad attitudes. Consider how often do they participate in the beauty of nature? You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing too, if you do not meditate or you do not do breath work or you do not work out or you don't do anything of that sort, you're not getting in tune with the nature of yourself. Therefore, you cannot all the way be happy or appreciate whatever the fuck life is presenting to you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm like, dude, nature is so important. And that's why having houseplants, like in any of my, like I said, these videos will come out. This is all audio you guys are listening to for now. But the videos will come out and they'll hit YouTube like a fucking ton of bricks when I actually got the internet and a new house and all this shit. Anyway, that's why you always see me with plants in all my videos. Always. There's always a plant next to me. Like, I try and keep a plant everywhere. I move my plants around. I take care of them. These are my babies, dude. And it's like, without my house plants, I probably would have gone crazy already. Just because they help ground me back to nature. And they remind me of the nature of myself and the simplicity and complexity of life all at the same time. Excuse me. So that's what's phenomenal about plants and nature is like, it's absolutely complex and it's absolutely as simple as can be. Human beings, we are the exact same way. We're just a fucking plant with a brain and a few more chakras and a few more fucking like cells and chromosomes or whatever the fuck, right? Like, we're no fucking different. It's like, if you eat plants, fruits, vegetables, you're eating the plant, which gives you life, which means we're basically a part of the plant. If you're eating animals, these animals eat plants, which give them life, which then give us life. And it's just like, we're continuously on the cycle of nature. It's like, I don't see plants and animals as anything different. Like, they're both living beings. Like, and this is kind of part of the next topic, which is funny, but it's like, when is it fair to call somebody a fucking idiot? I learned a big lesson in this yesterday. It's pretty funny. Because in my head, I'm like, it's not really fair to call anybody an idiot. That's pretty judgy, blah, blah, blah. It's not really shit we should be saying. But at the same time, when 1 + 1 = 2 and 2 + 2 = 4, there's just, you know what I'm saying? There's just some shit you can't deny. So, with that being said, and I've never expressed this before, and I don't outwardly think this is kind of more of a joke, but I guess I kind of do actually think this as I'm saying it more. But it's like, I think if you're a vegan for the reason of saving animals or climate control or because of climate control over the world, because animals create climate, what is it called? Global warming and all this stupid shit. Like, yo, that's idiotic. Because if you were really that in tune, you couldn't eat, like, if you were really aware, you couldn't eat plants because you understand they are living beings. They fucking react to everything that fucking animals and humans do. The sunlight, the dark, the cold, the heat. They need water to live. They need nutrients to live. What's the fucking difference between that and a cow? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you can't figure that, oh, well, a cow's a living being. So is a plant, you stupid motherfucker. Like, this is funny. I haven't talked shit like this in a while. It's kind of fun. This feels good. No, but really, it's like, you kind of got to be an idiot for that to be your logic, because that's not logical. And things that aren't logical, that you can't tie to any sort of reality other than your own, is pretty idiotic. Now, there are certain things like motivation and inspiration where that's not applicable, or like that it's different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, if you think you won't eat a cow because it's a living being, but you'll eat a fucking plant because you think it's not a living being, you're an idiot. Straight up and down, Chinatown. Like, you're dumb, or you're misinformed, or you're ignorant, or you're purposely ignorant, or you're any of these things. But it's like, if you have the ability to consider, this is alive, but I'm going to say this one's not alive, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was the case, you wouldn't think that a Christmas tree in your house was okay. You also wouldn't think that owning a pet would be okay, because that pet needs its freedom, and da-da-da-da-da. You're tripping. You can't be a vegan and wear Nike. You can't be a vegan and fucking support Carhartt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, because because your whole moral argument is incorrect. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at Carhartt. They were forcing vaccines on their employees, and they're enforcing all the mandates. And they're like they were a super pro-America company, and all the like real pro-America people aren't for that shit. So if you look at the ingredients of the vaccine, there is animal and pig and human cells inside this fucking shot. Now, if you're going to go get that injected into you, then you're way more than okay with fucking killing animals and people. Straight up. So it's completely illogical. That's stupid. So this is the thing, is like plants are alive the same way fucking you're alive. Your life is not worth more than the plant. You might just judge it to be because you think you're smarter than it. But I think that plants and trees and nature are far more closely connected to God than we are. They don't need to express ideas or opinions. They just exist. And what is it if you're just existing in real time without any thoughts? You're present. I believe that plants and trees and shit and grass and whatever is just always present. If you're always present, you're incredibly aware, you're incredibly awake, you're incredibly connected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people come up with ridiculous shit and ridiculous reasons and ridiculous things and ridiculous escapes from life because we all live in such a fake environment. Not all of us, but most of us. Especially here in California, San Diego, none of us live in the fucking nature. Not none of us, but most of us don't. Most of us live in a fucking popcorn ceiling, this and that, fucking straight lines everywhere, lack of art, lack of color, lack of plants, lack of connectedness, lack of groundedness, lack of fucking connection in nature, lack of self, lack of meditation, lack of all these things. Now, I'm not saying I'm fucking perfect or got this shit down by any means, but I understand and I'm practicing and I'm looking that way and I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. So it's just like all the sounds and shapes and looks of nature connect us all back to reality. So I'm at a point where I'm like, dude, I do not mind driving a fucking hour in and out of town every fucking day in order to go and have that option to fucking just reset in the middle of nature every day. When I step outside where I live now, yes, I got mountains in like a almost 360 view of me, but I have to go to different parts of the house to see that. But the thing is, there's too many city lights, there's too many fucking buildings, there's too many houses. Like where I live, there's residential and commercial surrounding me. And it's cool for the sake of convenience. But at the same time, dude, a life of convenience is not a life of fulfillment.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Ooh, that's hard. I need to write that down. Sorry, hold on. Hold on. I write slow. A life of is not a life of fulfillment. Okay, so maybe you guys can write that down too. Because writing down notes is pretty fucking helpful. Especially when thoughts and ideas and shit like that, like, dude, there's shit. I have just like journals and journals and journals and journals of just ideas and fucking thoughts and breakthroughs and different shit and just viewpoints and perspectives that I had jotted down. Now it's basically my podcast is that. Because sometimes I go back and listen to my podcast, I'm like, whoa, I forgot I ever even thought of that or came to that conclusion. And then I go on missing this huge life lesson because I had just forgot that I had known that at some point. So I'm like, dude, I will do whatever the fuck to be able to be in a place where I get to indulge in nature and I can be reset at the end of every day and the beginning of every morning. That's how you have a good lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Creating family, love, nature, hard work, dedication, commitment. That's the shit that matters. This life of convenience is bullshit. And all of us who've been sold on it, we've been lied to and we've been tricked because a life of convenience ain't it. The more we can connect and fucking do hard shit, work hard, sweat, get our hands dirty, connect, do real shit. Yo, like, I want my kids to know real life skills, how to fucking chop wood, how to fucking hunt a turkey, how to fucking shoot guns, how to fucking protect yourself, know how to fight, know how to throw a punch, know how to think, know how to have deep conversations, know how to ask important questions, know how to dive deep into life. And do shit that automatically makes you a fucking sovereign and smart individual. Because fuck the bullshit, dude. Like, why keep raising kids in deeper and deeper and deeper fake environments? Now we have the internet, and the internet's everywhere. And now our cell phone goes with us everywhere, which is basically our computer, which goes everywhere, which is basically video games, which goes everywhere, which is basically the news going everywhere, which is basically your grandpa reading the newspaper, ignoring you, smoking cigarettes and drinking black coffee going everywhere. Now all of that gross shit is carried and traveled around with all of us, and most of us are thinking is of this gross fucking news and this shit and all the shit that has nothing to do with fucking anything. And if they all decided to just fucking cut the lights out on us or turn the power off entirely, we're fucked. How many of us know how to hunt? How many of us know how to fucking track down a fucking deer? How many of us know how to do all this shit? Some of us do. Some of us can figure it out. I'm one of those people where, yes, I am a fucking city kid, but at the same time, I was probably always the most redneck fucking dude in my little town all the time. So, like I said before, at my house, like my dad was a Chinese redneck on our block growing up in a, you know, and it was like our white redneck neighbors named us that. Like, and it's funny, it's just a joke, you know, but like, it's just like that though. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to get back into this shit talking a little bit more. It's just funny, dude, because I really had to consider, when is it okay to call someone an idiot? And I got the answer. We'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
Oh, yes. Welcome, bicycle. This is the Damn Dude podcast. Season 2, episode 103. And for those of you guys who are gangbang the fuck out, and if you're
I know Mir Mesa.
if you're from Mecca Town, then you know what's up with the 103, cut. I ain't gonna say anything more than that because I'm not trying to burn anything out. But yo, so that's funny. That's one of those things, if you know, you know. And I don't know if anybody who actually knows what that means still listen. No, I don't know. Rylan, do you listen to this show? Rylan, if you hear this, let me know you heard that. So just so I know who knows, because I don't know if anyone else from the hood listens to it. But anyways, yo, so when is it okay to call someone an idiot? Now, I want you guys to know something. I like to think that I am very aware of the words I choose to use. What I mean by that is I do my best to not... I believe that everything that we say speaks some sort of creation. It creates something in this life. It cuts our slice of the pie out in this world. If you say it, it claims it, the world has to react. The fabric of life has to adjust and move and adapt to whatever the fuck we say and intend. The intention behind what we're saying too is part of it. So I think it's not wise to not believe that certain people are idiots, because then, well, no, that's terrible advice. I don't believe that. I mean, it's really that easy to change your mind, you guys. Truly. Okay. See, this is part of this. I'm like working through this myself because I go back and forth. So this is where I came to. And if somebody does something idiotic frequently enough, then does that make them an idiot altogether? Well, yes and no. Because, like, at the same time, what about when, like, let's say that person has something that they're good at? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I completely understand. Wow. And I just realized that's probably why a lot of people think I'm an idiot or have thought I'm an idiot in the past, is because it's like they never saw what I was good at. And it's kind of still like that. Like, if you just judge me from my online persona, you either think I'm crazy, you think I'm spitting the truth, or you think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Like, there's not really any in between. You're like, it's either like, yo, you think I'm fucking nuts, and you either respect it or don't fuck with me because of it. You think I spit fucking facts because I know I do. Or you think I'm a conspiracy theorist. And if you think that, you haven't done enough research, because all the shit I'm saying is not conspiracy. It's all backed up by factual things. Now, when I'm talking on this podcast, I'm just sorting through ideas. That's different. But it's like, a lot of times when I'm sharing posts or whatever, it's to get people to think. So my point of saying all this was, I do my best to choose words of, because I believe everything we say creates something. I do my best to choose words that create life in the best way possible for me. I do my best to not participate in using words like but, hate, don't want, don't like, shit like God damn it. I try not, stuff like that. I try not to use those phrases because they all create something. And when we say things like that, it creates and attracts something. Because it's crazy. It's like, let's say you were to say a prayer and you say, "Dear God, blah, blah, blah," whatever your prayers sound like if you pray, right? Or if you've prayed or whatever. That is the same. It's like being like, "Oh, God damn it, what the fuck?" That's the same calling to God. And one of them, you're cursing him, which it says, don't use the Lord's name in vain. I'm not a big dude on the Bible in terms of following it directly. The whole Bible is just kind of a metaphor. It's not fact or law from what I've learned. And we can debate this if you want, but it's just real. It'll get to a certain point where you can't deny that. And then if you look up history and you go back into the oldest ancient Egyptian and African teachings and Hebrew teachings and all this, at the very beginning of it, the earliest shit documented, going back into the Anunnakis and shit like that, way back, dude, you see the words that they use and then you see how those are related and altered in the Bible and you're like, oh, I see what they did. So that's its own fucking rabbit hole. Anyway, excuse me. Where was I going with that? I feel like I had a really good point with all that. Anyway, let's just keep it moving. I forgot my point, but or where I was going. No, I know my point. I forgot where I was going. I know what I'm saying. So I do my best to not use curse words, meaning words that will curse me. I don't believe that fuck, shit, motherfucker. I don't believe that those types of words are curse words. More so, I see them as an expression of energy, because you don't go, "Oh, fuck," for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Something happens to where, "Oh, fuck," and it comes out of you and it fucking feels good, right? And in other languages, they have different words too. And it's let's say you speak Tagalog and you're like, "Putang ina mo," it just feels good, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. And now it's are you being responsible with using it, or are you calling everybody a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Or are you calling everybody, "Oh, this is shit"? No. You got to have mindfulness and an intent that aligns, right? So, being that I understand that, I do my best to not use words that create more negativity in life, because there's already enough of that out there. Just turn on the internet for a couple seconds. So this is funny because this all kind of rounds back around, and maybe I need to say this a little quieter, because I think my neighbor can actually hear me sometimes, because I can hear them pretty well. And this is also part of why I say we're not meant to fucking live in... I got it. We are not meant to live in communities with people who are not our tribe.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yo. We're not meant to live in communities with people who are not our tribe. Holy shit. And that's why when you live in an apartment complex, and your neighbors just aren't fully with the shit, that's not your tribe. It's like, man, this fucking guy's annoying, right? Or like, for example, in Mira Mesa, especially over by like all the apartments up and down Camino Ruiz, like a lot of people jokingly call it Little India now, because fucking all these Indians that work at Qualcomm and all the tech jobs down there in Sereno now, they've all dude, these guys are so fucking smart. And I look up to the way that they live. So these dudes, and I've taught in a few of these communities, I've taught their kids. Excuse me. So basically, in these apartment complexes, Indians will rent out the entire thing. So literally, like, these people are stacked because they're making fucking hundreds of thousands or millions at their jobs, and they live complete modest lives. They live in apartments and they drive very like basic cars. Like, most of these dudes are driving like fucking mid-thousands Corollas or maybe a fucking Prius, or like just something that's smart. Like, most of them are driving Toyotas or something with like a really good warranty on it. And they're just living a life of consistency and reliability and community. So my point that I was really getting at was, when you show up here and you walk through the complex, you smell Indian food throughout the whole thing, every single house. You hear music, and they all enjoy the same music. Like, sometimes one person in the complex will turn the music all the way the fuck up, and nobody else plays anything because they all enjoy the same music. You know, like, how cool is that if it's like, and then it's like the kids can just all run and play safely because they've created their own community and their own tribe. And it's like, literally, a lot of these people are even related, and they bring their relatives over and all this. And like, they create a community of like-minded tribes members. Now, when you live in a community with people who are not your tribe, you have war. I mean, at the most extreme end of things, right? But that's the thing, is like, it's not that I don't like, I like all my neighbors. But it's the thing is, like, I don't necessarily fuck with any of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're all cool. I trust me. I enjoy my neighbors, but like, I have one neighbor who's I like the dude, but he's obnoxious as shit. And the way he's obnoxious is he does things that are idiotic. And like, oh God, where do I even start? Because at a certain point last night, I was like, I got up in the middle of the night, I was like, oh, this fucking idiot. And I don't say things like that. And I even stopped and I went, wait. And I had to get corrected and stuff. But my point was, I woke up and I was like, oh, this fucking idiot. And then I stopped, I'm like, is that okay to say? And I guess the conclusion that came to was yes. So, reason I say this, oh, I'm like getting a fucking like hot, cold flash again. I'm so crazy feeling right now. So like I said, I was sick, I was laid out, and after several, I guess it's months now, and then 2 days just stuck inside, my neighbor, he plays about 80 to 100 hours worth of video games and movies every week, if not more. I'm not exaggerating. And this dude will literally play video games from like 2-3 p.m. when he wakes up until about usually like 6 in the morning. Yeah, that's about right. So go until about 6 in the morning, fall asleep then, wake up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, sometimes 4, and then play video games and music all the way through. Every single day. Every day. And the cost of that is the fucking subwoofer going just shaking the fucking walls all day long. Now, that might make some people absolutely insane. So this is where I'm at a weird place because I love subwoofers. I love loud music. I very much appreciate a good quality sound system. Car audio shit, I wouldn't say I'm huge, but like I'm pretty big into that. Like all my cars need subwoofers and, you know, good speakers and all that shit, like mandatory. I'm also the same guy being obnoxious, bumping down the block, and your windows are shaking. You're like, who the fuck is that asshole? Like, that's me. So I'm not mad. I get it, right? I get the love of it. I get the enthusiasm. I get it. But there's a point where you're just being obnoxious as fuck and you're being rude and you're acting like an idiot. And that's where I draw the line. Because it's like, homie, like, what are you doing with your life, bro? So then on top of this, on top of playing 80 to 100 plus hours of video games and movies a week, and it sounds like Call of Duty, just by the this fucking guy, dude, I don't know if I told this story. Did I tell this story? Let me see real quick. Excuse me, fuck. Fuck, man. Excuse me, I'm being so gross right now. Okay. Oh, that was gross. I took my last sip of coffee. It was fucking cold. It's kind of funny how warm coffee that went room temperature tastes cold and it comes off as gross. But then when you drink iced coffee, it's like good. But like coffee that just went cold is not good. Like, what is that about? That's weird. Okay, so I didn't tell the story. All right. So in my parking space at my complex. And okay, let me preface this by I am always very super pro, like, yo, just come talk to me first sort of person versus like, let's call the cops or let's call some authority or whatever, right? Very, very much that way. Yo, if you got a problem with me, come talk to me. Don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? We don't got to bring this elsewhere. So I come home at like, it's probably like it's like after midnight one night. And I don't know if it was for my birthday or a party or when I went out to eat or I don't know what it was. Or was it a get together with my friends? I don't know. But I'm out. I come home at like 12 something or 1 in the morning. And I'm fucking tired as fuck. I usually don't stay up that late like in the past couple weeks. And I have a fucking 5-gallon thing of water that I had refilled earlier. I have a bunch of different backpacks. I think I have like my wet surfing gear. And all this stuff is really fucking hard to carry any amount of distance. So for me to park in my designated spot and walk all the shit up to the house is a lot of fucking work. Like I literally have to use all my strength and fingers and everything. It's like when you go and try and like, you get asked to help carry groceries inside and like from the trunk and you're like one shot and you just fucking load yourself up and all your fingers are turning purple and shit. Like that. It's like that. And granted, I also will have my son with me when we come home late at night and he's sleeping. And like even to park in my parking space and walk around the building is pretty far. But if I don't have that option, then I have to literally park across the main road and down a whole block. So it's literally like a 5-minute walk. Now, I am absolutely not trying to do a 5-minute walk carrying all the groceries, quote. I'm not trying to do that. That's my spot. There's no parking in the front. So, especially when it's late at night. Excuse me. I like hiccups or something. So I come home. It's fucking 12 something, almost 1 o'clock. And in my parking space, in front of it is my motorcycle with a big cover and you can't fucking miss it. It's like, it's almost like an eyesore. It's pretty fucking ugly, right? Because with this cover and it's just, I'm the only one with a motorcycle in the whole complex. Well, on this side of the complex. So when you pull up to my spot, you see this huge motorcycle in front of you and the cover and the whole thing. And it's got like reflective fucking stripes on it and all this shit. So if you pull up to it at night and you're high beam or your lights hit it, it fucking reflects at your face. My fucking neighbor, he's parked in my spot with his parking space wide open. It's the middle of the night. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, I was in like, I will beat your fucking ass, homie type of mode. Because I'm like, yo, if I had my kid, ooh, I would have flipped. But because it was just water and the other shit, I'm sitting there thinking, man, if I had my kid with me and he was sleeping and I had to go park all far and do all this shit. So what I did was I just pulled up, I unloaded all my shit, and then I parked hella far. And I was pissed, dude. It's cold, it's late. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to go for a fucking 5-minute walk right now on top of having to carry all this shit in. Like, carrying all this shit in was supposed to be my last thing, you know? So I was like, you stupid motherfucker. And it's like, the car was cold. It wasn't just some temporary thing for like a couple minutes. So I'm like, all right, I was like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just a second somebody was parked in his spot, whatever. So I'm like taking my time. I'm pissed, you know, but it's like, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, all right, he'll go out and move it, you know? And then within me loading my shit, and I'm kind of like purposely going slow just to give the benefit of the doubt of like, all right, like maybe he's just there real quick. About 10, 20 minutes go by. I was like, man, fuck. Or like 10 minutes go by. I was like, nah, completely fuck this. I called the tow truck that's assigned to our tow place. I was like, yo, somebody's on our spot. Like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what the fuck? All right, how long has it been there? You know, da-da-da. Explain. 45 minutes go by. Tow truck finally comes. And literally our windows are right next to each other and they overlook the whole fucking parking thing. And I'm like, yo, you literally don't hear or see the tow truck taking your it's going beep, beep, beep with all these flashing lights and all the shit right outside your window. And your parking space is wide open. Why are you in my spot? Like, how yacked out are you? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what are you doing? So then, at the same time, you know, maybe there's just something I don't understand. And maybe I'm just being judgy. But you know what? Like I said, I'm cool with, dude. It's just these things are so like, bro, what? Like, why are you making me do this? You know? And then it's that late, you're not gonna go knock on somebody's door, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knocking on anybody's door at 1 a.m. I don't fucking know like that. Like, I'm barely gonna go knock in my fucking mom, dad, best friends. I'm not even knocking at any of their doors at 1 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless somebody was chasing me with a fucking hatchet or something, like, I'm not gonna come knock on your door at 1 a.m, especially to move your car. Like, come on now. Especially when your spot's open, like, what are you doing? So there's that. And then this fucking guy, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a day in the week where you're not allowed to park on the street. And these guys have gotten a ticket every single week. And if they didn't, it's because they got lucky that a cop didn't pass by that time. Well, we have sheriffs in our town. And the sheriff didn't pass by that week if they didn't get one. But their car was still there. And I'm like, there's no possible way that I think parking tickets are $65 or $75 here. There's no fucking way you enjoy paying $65 or $75 every week just to not move your car 20 yards. You know, like, what, like... So then that got me thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if dude can play this much video games for that many hours, and he's just pulling up and clearly parking in the wrong space, getting his car towed, getting parking tickets every week, like, are you just fucking gacked out of your mind? Like, what is going on? So that's where I'm like, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm like, this fucking idiot. It all just collected. And it's like, nobody wants to hear fucking Call of Duty at fucking or just the outward sound effects of Call of Duty at fucking 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, every single fucking day. You know what I mean? So there's times where I'm like, yo, I can be like, I will play certain petty games. Now, it's not often anybody can get me to play petty games, but sometimes I'm with it. And you better understand that I was the kid who did not know how to pay attention in school. So all I did was think of wacky shit. You're not going to beat me when it comes to like silly little shit like that. So like, for example, I used to have this racist neighbor who would always fucking call in these fake complaints about my family and I to the HOA, and they kept trying to fine us hundreds of dollars every week or two. I was like, yo, like, what is going on? This doesn't even make sense. And then I found out who it was, and then the fucking HOA reversed all of it, and they were like, yo, like, sorry, like, this woman's a nightmare. And I was like, thank you. So, to combat that lady's fucking stupid shit, I'm like, how can I do something to get back at this lady to where it's just fair, eye for an eye, justice. And if you don't remember that show, go look at the show Eye for an Eye with Judge Extreme Akeem and Kato Kalin and Sugar Ray. Best judge show ever. Anyways, go look that up. Eye for an Eye, best show. It's on YouTube. You can find episodes. Best show ever. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, I can't go I'm not gonna slash this lady's tires. That's too extreme. I was like, but I'm down to let the air out of her tires. But I'm like, hold on. There's cameras throughout we shared like this common garage underneath all of our houses. And I was like, all right, well, I can't do that. You know, that's kind of criminal, this and that. I was like, I got it. So we used to have these like directional speakers. And you know how like certain house speakers, they're directional. So like you can't really hear it. You can only hear where it's pointed at. Like you don't really hear much outside of that. So I took a directional speaker and I pointed it at her from out of my window straight at her window. And I put on this 12-hour baby screaming recording from YouTube. And I fucking put it on and I played it full blast, pointed straight at her window and just went to work for the day. And I was just like, what you gonna do? Call the cops that a baby's screaming? Like, how crazy do you look? There's a baby crying. I'm calling the cops and filing a complaint. Like, lady, you're filing a complaint that a baby is crying? Right, so that was my angle. So you know, sometimes the law can't help you. You got to take matters into your own hands. No, yo, so the night before last, I think, I was fed up just again, because I'm fucking trapped in this tiny shithole. I'm trapped in this tiny place, and I'm losing my mind. I'm sick as fuck, all this stuff. So I was like, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got a lot of tolerance for subwoofer being too loud, extra noise, whatever. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not picky. But at this point, in my full sick, fed up mode, I fucking took my boombox, I put it up against the wall, fucking full blast, just blasting, like, all right, let's do this, you know? My shit's not even loud as yours. So, fuck it. And literally like 20 minutes later, it just stopped. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like, I'm just going to do this every time. And that's the thing too, is like, it's one of those things where like, I don't know. It's like, to have a conversation about it, I haven't had the opportunity because this dude's always up to some weird shit. So I don't really know, you know? And he kind of sketches me out a little. Like I see him up to, you know, it's like when you've been involved in, or you know people, or you've witnessed, or you just grew up around people doing sketchy shit, you recognize it. Game recognized game. You know what I mean? Real eyes, real lies, real eyes, real lies, real lies. Ooh, that's so deep, bro. No. Real eyes, realize, real lies. That's like high school shit. That's funny. But, yo, so with everything I just shared, would it be fair to call this individual an idiot? Now, yes and no. My final conclusion is that we shouldn't call people idiots, but it's also okay to acknowledge when people do idiotic things over and over and over. Now, everyone has the opportunity to do better and grow and all this, and that's fine. I'm not judging. I used to fucking play video games all the time and like fucking sleep at 6 a.m. and wake up at 4 p.m. and all this shit. But I also realized the fuckery I was on in my life and that existed when I was doing that. So that's where I'm like coming back and it's like, all right, I got compassion and understanding. It's just at a certain point, it's really fucking annoying. And as long as when I get fed up, that's the worst I do is be like, man, this guy's a fucking idiot versus freak the fuck out and start pounding on the wall or fucking yelling at somebody or start a fight or all this shit. It ain't worth it. So yeah. With that being said, you guys, get out in some nature. Go appreciate life. I need to go for a walk and take a shower. I feel so gross. I've sweat through my shirt like 3 times during this whole fucking conversation. I just feel like a fucking maniac right now. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please do all the internet words with the show, which is like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever the fuck, all that stuff. And please be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their best friends, cousins, joint rolling, rhinoplasty, rhino trainer about the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.